And good morning, everybody. My name's Dave Lynch. I'm the city manager here for the city of Newton Falls, Ohio, and this is our morning COVID-19 briefing. We do this every morning at around 7:30, give or take a minute or two. And as we do these things in the morning, we try to keep you up to date on the local aspect of the COVID-19 crisis. There are things we're doing differently because of the way our businesses operate. We've talked to a number of those businesses and professionals about the way we approach things. But the point is that I want you to follow what the governor says and Dr. Acton, and also the things that are coming out of the federal government, Dr. Fauci's office and the president's task force. But it's nice to know how things are affecting us here on a local basis. So we have this program Monday through Saturday for about a 15-minute period. And one thing I wanted to say before we got started, and that is that yesterday we talked a lot about our veterans because yesterday was Memorial Day, and our veterans aren't just the men that have served, but the women that have served as well, and have served with great distinction, going through many of the same slings and arrows that our veterans who are men go through. So yesterday I talked a lot about veterans and soldiers, and occasionally use the term men, but all those terminology are meant to include our noble women who serve as well. A lot of them are moms. They're serving there on the front line. So our hats off to all our veterans, including the women that have served. Well, speaking of veterans, this morning we've got a chance to talk to one of the great vets clubs in Northeast Ohio, the Newton Falls AmVets Post 112. And I have the first Vice Commander, Art Keffer, on the live line. Good morning, Art. How are you?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Great, great. Well, as I look out the window from City Hall, I see the Vets Club headquarters there. It's a great location. But of course, the COVID-19 has changed your operations a pretty significant way. Art, what's been happening or not happening at the AmVets 112?
Well, when we first heard that we were allowed to open, we definitely had a meeting of our officers. And one of the things that we looked at was how bad this thing is and how bad it could be. So what we decided on doing was, because our age group is down there being veterans, we have a lot of Vietnam veterans. And I hate to say it that way, we're all getting up in the age idea of the 60 plus that they say that this virus really affects. So we decided to prolong the opening down there until we picked a date of July 28th. That doesn't mean we can't open sooner, but the main thing that we did that for was for the safety and the health of our veterans now.
Sure.
Excuse me, down there.
Sure. Well, you want to protect the club members. Have you done anything, or you plan on doing anything special in terms of sanitizing or things of that nature?
Oh, definitely. We, well, number one, before we do open, we will sanitize the place, but also we decided to buy some of the ultraviolet lights that they're advertising now. So when we close the doors at night, we'll be able each night to sanitize our area down there. Yeah, we're definitely looking at stuff like that. We've been pretty busy. I mean, still with the thing being closed down, I mean, we try to do things in the community. What we've done is we participated in like that meal delivery that went to the frontline workers at the hospitals and more. We have helped out as far as donations go. The school lunch program that they have been doing, I guess, since school shut down.
Sure.
Down over there. And we call, we check on our members, see what they need. If they need anything, we try and get it to them. Take care of our employees, that type of thing. We also just participated in the scholarship program at the high school. We gave out 5 $1,000 scholarships. Of course, yesterday it was kind of like, well, it's probably about the most different Memorial Day I've ever been in. I mean, ever since I've been in town here, been a member of the AMVET since 1983. And I've seen a lot of Memorial Days, but yesterday was different. But one of the things that we did, we had our veterans and we had some volunteers. And thanks to Nussel Floors also with the flowers that we put in down there. They were beautiful. We did Veterans Park. We went down and made sure that flowers were planted, new flags were put up. And then we also did all the flags. Each veterans group in town has designated cemeteries that we put flags on.
Yes.
So we did all that. We're trying to keep active in the community idea.
Yeah, Art, you've always been integrated into the community, and during the COVID-19, those programs have gone forward, and you guys have been a big part of it. You also have a pretty outstanding manager of the enterprise itself, Shirley. Tell us a little bit about her.
Oh, she's great. Totally great. She takes care of the inside ideas as far as daily operations and all that. But
Yeah.
as far as you know, she's put us out into the community. I mean, anything that is going on, she usually gets us participating in. I believe she's even contacted you and done some stuff over there that we could possibly do with the city. So no, she's definitely one of the best. Let's put it that way for being a manager in the area for working with veterans.
Yeah. Well, it's been great. By the way, Art, just as an aside, after you open up, your organization does allow the facility on occasion to be rented for events as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, small occasions, small things like that. But most of the time, that building on the side there, members use it for different activities, different birthday parties, after funerals, showers, things like that. But
Yeah.
it is available. It is available, yes.
Yeah. Folks, the number is 330-872-4019. And if nobody picks up that number, leave a message and they will get back to you. And the AMVETS 112, boy, if anything's going on in town, they're right in the middle of it. And Art, thank you so much for taking the time to let us know a little bit about how you guys have been dealing with the virus. And thank you for your service to our country.
Well, thank you for calling. And if there's anything we can do to help you guys out, feel free to call.
You can count on it. All right, thanks. That was Art Keffer, who is the first vice commander. I want to make sure I get that designation right. And he is the one who has helped inform us as to how things are going over at AMVETS 112. All our veterans groups are outstanding, and we're still going to talk to one we haven't spoken with yet, but we're going to switch directions and talk to someone who runs the subway and see how they're doing. We only have one subway in town. And
Hello?
Yes. Hi, Angie. Are you there?
Yes.
Great. We have on the line Angie Wilcox, who is the manager of the Subway Sandwich Shop, which is right next to the Falls Family exercise facility, right there near the covered bridge. And we're just glad of what you've been doing in town with the subway. Angie, as you managed during the COVID-19, what changes have you had to put in place to make sure you can serve your public in a way that's safe according to the guidelines?
Well, we've always done extra sanitary measures, obviously, but now with the governor's orders, we've had to put more in place. They eliminated our eat-in sales for a while. We just recently started those back up last week. So we've had to do, obviously, the social distancing. We've marked all the spots off. And we've went more to online sales. We try to encourage our customers to order online so they can just pick up the order as they come in, which is kind of deceiving. When people come in, they think the service is a little slower, but we've got lots of orders online, so you don't always see the customers, but there's people in there, making the sandwiches for people that you don't see, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, it does make sense. Angie, Subway is a very popular franchise. You are the only Subway franchise in the city of Newton Falls, aren't you?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, we've been around since 91, I believe.
wow. And you're kind of a staple in the community. So have you gotten to sort of know your clientele a little bit? You've got your regulars that you're concerned
Yes,
about?
we have lots of regular customers. Obviously, we're concerned about them. We're concerned about our employees. We are always constantly sanitizing the place. We have to do it more frequently than we used to, but we still have to do it very often. And now that eat-in sales are resuming, we have to clean the tables after all the customers, clean the bathrooms when somebody uses it. I mean, we're wearing the masks that the governor ordered, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. And
It's
there's
constantly changing, and we're trying to adapt.
Yeah, yeah. One of the things I noticed about your Subway operation that makes it especially healthy is that you have your own water filtration system. So if somebody just gets a glass of water, it's not from the tap. You actually have your own water filtration system there, don't you?
Yes, we do. It comes right through our Coke machine.
Yeah, yeah. That's really sort of an added feature of health over at this Subway location. How have your employees responded to the new guidelines that you've had to impose?
Well, in the beginning, I mean, obviously it was a lot of change, and a lot of people were scared. You know, they didn't want to get exposed and then take it home to their families and stuff. We did close down for about a week or so just so we can get everybody on page with everything. Nobody was sick or anything. We just, closed down, cleaned the restaurant real well. Not that we hadn't cleaned it already.
Sure.
And we had to, get everybody with the new guidelines, trying to get everybody trained on what to do and all that stuff. Business slowed down at the time, so hours for every employee was decreasing. But as the changes have come along, we've had to, take the COVID-19 classes and all that stuff to keep up on all the changes.
Sure. Now, Angie, you said you're now open for in-dining service.
Yes.
How are things different there? Because you've got to maintain certain distances. So how is that working out?
Well, we eliminated some of the seating. Obviously, it had to be 6 feet apart, so we had to take out some of the tables. So there's not as much seating in there, but we do have them spaced out and try to, keep everybody apart from each other. Our restaurant's not set up where we can do partitions, but they are spaced out enough where you can eat in there and still be safe. And like I said, when customers leave, we sanitize it right after they leave. So we just try to keep everybody safe.
Angie,
our customers are important to us.
Yeah. Angie, I'm curious, now that you've got the new protocol for in-house dining, so to speak, have people been doing that, or has the public been afraid to come in and sit down? What's the experience down on the ground there?
We haven't had as many eat-in people. We do have our regular customers that obviously we're in there quite often, and they miss coming in and conversing with our other local customers that they become friends with. So we do have a couple of those that are slowly returning, but yeah, there's definitely not been as much eat-in sales in there.
Yeah.
But they are returning slowly.
All right, Angie, I'm always curious about this at franchises. My own favorite is the tuna salad sandwich, but what's the most popular Subway sandwich at Subway these days?
Oh, it varies by day. We have, the BMT and the club are pretty popular. Right now, actually, our suppliers, are limiting some of our supplies, so we've had to run out of a couple of things, and it's beyond our control, obviously, because the suppliers aren't getting it, so we can't get it.
Sure. All right, but you certainly have a regular trade of folks still coming into Subway. Have you found that people are, many of the restaurateurs are telling me in town that with all the takeout, the community has a sense of appreciation that you're there and that you're operating because, people are limited, they've been sheltered in, and they just appreciate the fact that you are out there doing what you're doing. Has there been a better sense of fraternity and appreciation and community and positive feeling going on?
For most of the people that come in, they're definitely positive. We have a couple that have tipped our employees and stuff like that, which makes it good because the girls have lost some money, so it makes it nice. Yeah, but everybody's been kind of bottled up in their house, so everybody's wanting to get out now. So
Sure.
yeah.
Sure. Oh, that's great. Well, Angie, thank you so much. Angie Wilcox from the Subway. If people want to order, the phone number is 872-1555 in the 330 area code. And they like getting orders ahead of time. It certainly makes for a faster, somewhat more COVID-insulated transaction. And Angie, thank you for taking the time to let us know what you've been doing. And we wish peace and good health to you and your family. Thanks, Angie.
Thanks. Same to you.
All right. That was Angie Wilcox, the manager over at the Subway. Well, everybody's got a little bit different story of how they're dealing with the COVID-19. The folks over at AMVETS 112 are getting ready to open up again on July 28th. The Subway's been open really almost throughout the entire thing for takeout, and now more recently in-house dining, and they are taking special precautions. I don't know if you noticed, she said that after each customer leaves, they go right to the table and wash it off, sanitize it, and after each time a person uses the bathroom, they go into the bathroom and clean and sanitize the bathroom. So obviously we are developing what I would call a new normal, and maybe it's a healthier normal. That a lot of these practices will continue even after the economy opens up with no restrictions whatsoever. We'll probably all be better off. And speaking of better off, we got a lot of phone calls yesterday from some folks that wanted to see that video again that we did in honor of our veterans. It was called the Ballad of the Fighting Men of Newton Falls. So we're going to play that again as the outgoing music from this broadcast. So what I want to say, everybody, once again, is be in touch with your Heavenly Father. Keep those prayers going. He will hear you. He will answer you also. Maybe not on your own time, but the way that in His providence He knows is the best thing for you and your family. In addition to that, as I say again at the end, God bless America and God bless the city of Newton Falls. Graying hair upon their head, they won't forget their fallen dead. They all stand proud when duty calls. The fighting men of Newton Falls, from Bunker Hill to Shiloh's graves, from Old Verdun and Pershing's waves, all gave some and some gave all. We mourn the men who once stood tall. German planes filled up the air, a kamikaze's steely stare. A young man fights to end the strife, and for freedom gave his life. In Korea's swampy land, the USA, we took a stand. In Vietnam, we went again. The blood of boys turned into men. In Kuwait, the Middle East, more soldiers died, our brave deceased. Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, we add more names who won't come back. Missing legs and wheelchairs, vacant minds and vacant stares. Post-traumatic they have been. Have compassion on these men. Don't forget, they went for us. We watched our sons get on that bus. We owe our our land, for the blood they shed on sand, graying hair upon their head. They won't forget their fallen dead. They all stand proud when duty calls, the fighting men of Newton Falls. Graying hair upon their head, they won't forget their fallen dead. They all stand proud when duty calls, the fighting men of Newton Falls.